The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Wow, it's been a minute, hasn't it? First, I want to welcome my lovely cast into the new year. And hi, everyone. I'm Maddox. I'll be your ever magnanimous storyteller today. If we would please round robin for this lovely third season of Changeling Stained Glass.
Hey everyone, I am Mom McStabber, and I am playing Priscilla Rowland, also known as Esmeralda the Aishu.
Hey everyone, I am Evie Eternal, and I'm playing Melody Rockwell, also known as Embra the Sheed.
Junie fucking Von Ash playing Honey Badger Swift. When you've got the troll and you got to back them up, you call a right cap on a roll.
Yep, I didn't miss that at all. Hi, everybody. I'm the Red Nose Archon, and I get to play Sir Ridari, the Manticore's Bane, otherwise known as Oscar Holst.
Fancy titles. I'm Mischievous Red. I'm playing Blair Wilson, or Ace Durand, your lovely Chloricon.
And our dear Cozy Core, the unconscious Celestial, will not be joining us for this episode. We wish you well in whatever horseshit life is throwing at you, and we hope to see you for next episode. Well, I think that's enough of me trying to delay the inevitable. It starts off with snow. As the new year rolled through, Christmas and Yule being celebrated by the Cathane of Denver, it starts into a slow winter. Early January being something of a unstable sort of network. Everything feels there, but not established properly. This day in early January sees Denver hit by a rather decent bit of snow. You're getting probably roughly 19 inches of snow at this point. Enough to be a bit of a pain on the roads, but not to totally kill visibility. The drifts, on the other hand, are what making things difficult. Colorado loves being right at the base of a mountain range, which means the wind races right over us every time. And I find that there is only one place to open this lovely season. Esmeralda,
Yes?
What are you doing at home right now? It's probably about 11:30 in the morning right now.
She's been nursing a cup of tea because she has been diligently working on choreography ideas for content to upload to her YouTube channel. She's trying to get an agent. Because
And-
she needs steadier gigs. So.
And are you in your house proper?
Yes.
In the freehold?
She's in her house proper.
Okay. Jolly is currently, he asked to watch TV. So that's where he is right now.
Mm-hmm. And she's in the same room with him, with the TV going in the background. She's totally tuned it out. But she's actually
Right now it's Food
sitting
Network.
in the floor, and she's going through, like, she's got her laptop there. She's just sitting in the floor with right beside the coffee table. Her drink is there. It's like gone cold hours ago. And she's like hyper focused.
And there is a resounding knock at the front door.
And she just looks.
It sounds not rushed, but maybe excited would be the descriptor for the frequency of it.
And she sighs and she looks up at Jolly and says, "Are you expecting someone?"
Not until 4.
Nice to know. Ass. And then she gets up.
Goat, actually, but you're close.
Stubborn as one. And she gets up and goes to the door.
As you open it, you see standing in his winter coat, very sleek, but of course he makes anything look good, is Vincent.
Mm.
His arms are behind his back, and he gives a very bright smile, which only accentuates the she-ness of him.
Of course.
May I come in?
Please come in from the cold.
As he steps in, he shuts the door himself, still keeping his hands behind his back. So, right or left first?
Let's go with left.
And he holds out a thermos.
Excellent. She takes the thermos, cracks it open, takes a sniff.
I mean, you've smelled hot chocolate.
Oh. And she closes it so it doesn't go, lose all its steam.
Doug gave me his recipe, so I promise you, it's good hot chocolate.
It smells amazing.
It was one of the first things he perfected when we were in college together. So I've grown fond of it, and I like to share it with anyone who can get their hands on it.
All right, now the right.
And he pulls out, on the human side, it just seems like just a wad of like fake flowers, you'd guess. They don't look all that impressive. It's what they really are on the chimerical side, is flowers that have a static pattern on them. And that isn't to say that the pattern isn't moving. I'm saying that it's like the flowers are a window to the actual pattern on them. So when they move, you are seeing different parts of a pattern on the flowers, which is the night sky. So as you move, you can see, like, he holds it out to you, and you see, like, Orion is one of the constellations currently showing. And then he shifts it over by a couple feet, and then you're looking at the Big Dipper, Sagittarius, Little Dip. It's more along that line, as it is like you like follow along a screen through. I don't even know how to fucking describe it properly. It's just it's like the flowers are showing a background of something that's not behind them.
Yeah. And she is just absolutely enraptured by these. Vincent, where did you get these?
As it turns out, about a 5 minutes walk in the dreaming from my actual house.
And she just looks up with this great big grin on her face, and she's like, "I absolutely love them."
And he holds them out.
And she takes them.
The one thing that I hope is that you have a vase that will complement them properly. Because I don't know what would make fake flowers look good, and also something like that.
I have just the thing. And she says, come. And she will actually take him into the freehold. And there is a vase on a shelf near the balefire. And she puts the flowers in that.
He gives a longing glance at the vase and where they were placed. And then he also gives a respectful sort of glance at the actual balefire.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns back to you. How have you been? I haven't been able to see you much in the past couple of days.
Keeping busy.
I'm sorry I couldn't be around more.
It's all right. I have to
And
grow accustomed to this now.
He holds out his arms in a do you want a hug sort of motion.
And she will take one.
And as a quick transition from that scene at this moment, we go to Ace. Ace, whereabouts are you right now?
So is there any lights that are still up for the holidays they've taken their sister Anne to go see?
In certain neighborhoods, like some of the ones that people don't have people to like pay to hang their lights up and take them down and all that stuff. So in other neighborhoods, it's more the lights are still up just because they haven't had the chance to get out on the ladder and start taking their lights down and all that. But by this point in January, there's not too many Christmas or holiday type decorations left.
There aren't like any events or anything that go on either.
Not so much. Not for early January. You need to get a bit further into the year before things start picking up again. City likes to take a small but sometimes inconvenient break.
Okay, then in that case, they're probably at Anne's house. I imagine there's probably a grand fireplace there, and they're sitting nearby and probably actually drinking hot cocoa. And Ace is telling Anne stories.
Okay. Anne is listening politely, but there is a sort of not disinterested look, but just skeptical. Like in some of the stories, just different parts, there's always like the occasional like scowl, or like you'll hear her mutter, but that doesn't make any sense. But she's trying her best not to say it out loud. She's trying to be polite.
Anne, I can see it on your face. What don't you like now?
Well, I don't even know. It's just like all these stories are great, I guess, but they're not real.
How do you know?
Because I've never felt anything like that. Things don't happen with magic. The world is just the world.
And I have to ask, are you afraid that what it would mean if magic were real?
How can I be afraid of something that doesn't exist?
Never mind. What would it take to convince you?
What would it take to convince me that magic is real?
Yeah. You're my little sister. I can't let you go through life not believing in magic. Is this my sibling obligation?
Oh, I said the sibling obligation was to torment each other.
I'm the good sibling. That's what the others are for. Wow, I never thought I'd be saying I'm the good sibling.
Can I think about it?
Yes,
I
but you
don't
have
know if I'd have an answer for you.
think on it. And if you can't think of something, I'll decide myself.
Okay. I'll try my best to think on it.
And you better be careful and decide soon. Otherwise, maybe it'll be a prank.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't want that. Can I ask you a question?
What?
Is Mom okay?
She's okay as she can't be. What's got you worried?
Well, she's just not around as much. She's off doing a whole bunch of stuff. I still see Dad, but
Her
she's
job's
getting distracted, and Dad says she's just a bit stressed, but I don't know.
work's kept her really busy. She's bitten off a bit more than she can chew, but don't worry. I'm sure Dad won't let anything bad happen to her.
You know, there used to be so many times when Mom used to be so happy. She doesn't seem as happy anymore.
It's been a long time. Been a long time.
I guess that's part of it. My family keeps fighting all the time. So I guess if you want me to believe in magic, can you guys stop fighting?
That'd be a magical act to stop fighting, really, Anne?
If my family stopped fighting, yeah.
That makes me feel so terrible. I will do my best.
And Ace, Anne doesn't notice, but you do. It's very faint, but it almost sounded like a choked sob and then quick, quiet footsteps away. And as you turned, you just saw like someone walking out from, probably they were just looking in. You're not quite sure who's home, or it could have been one of the staff. You're not sure.
Anne, would you want to go play outside in the snow?
Okay, let me go get my snow boots. I don't want my feet to get cold. And
Okay.
she runs off to go put her boots on.
Okay. After she comes back. Actually, no, hold on. It's what we're gonna do. So we're going to, as she's looking for her boots, Ace is going to use Mooch to get the shoes first.
Okay. You don't even need to roll for this. You're taking boots from a child. And she's not even in line of sight to them. So, and you have a pair of boots.
Anne, where you're going, they're right here.
She stops halfway, turns around. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you found them. Sis always gets mad when I leave my shoes around the house, and she'll run over and start putting them on.
I mean, I'm pretty good at finding your shoes. You didn't even see them here. Next time she has you go look for them, let me know.
Okay. Or maybe I can just remember to leave them by the door all the time. If they're always in the same place, then I'll never forget them.
I mean, didn't you think that you left them by the door this time?
Well, yeah, but that's because I do every other time.
Huh.
Ace, you're
Dude.
confusing me. And she goes back to putting on the rest of her winter gear.
And then yeah, Ace is just gonna try and do like a bunch of little stuff to get her to like question at this point, because they're getting a little desperate.
More than half of it seems to not even be noticed by her.
Yeah.
She keeps rationalizing all the small little tricks that you're pulling as you guys get ready and then head out into the snow.
Okay. Anne, I bet
Ace.
you I can hit that tiny leaf on that specific branch and no others with a snowball. From all the way back there.
She reaches into her pocket on her snow pants and pulls out a $1 bill. Okay.
And then Ace is going to use gimmicks to do that
Perfectly
exact thing.
hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you got it.
I told you.
And she hands you the $1.
But you couldn't do that.
She reaches down and poorly balls up the snow.
Ace uses gimmicks to make hers hit too.
Oh, perfect. I was gonna roll, but if you're adjusting things.
Yeah.
And she hits. And she doesn't like visibly react, but she does keep looking where it was.
You did it too. Must have been really easy then.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was magic.
Let's go sledding. She walks over and
Dort. And they like elbow her a little bit. And then they go sledding.
And as the two of you drift down a very slick hill, Oscar, Radari, today we find you in your apartment.
With double the plants.
Try triple.
No.
There's so much greenery. It is a slow day, and you do not even have work today. So it is a nice and chill morning. You see that Mari has just finished watering the last of her plants. And there is a sizable, if not too overly done, stack of pancakes in the kitchen. And plates and all that, and fixins waiting. As she walks up, smiles, kiss on the cheek, and a big hug. Good morning.
I pick her up and twirl her.
There's a giggle as she does her best not to like be too flung about. You have to remember, I am not as heavy as you. You don't need to swing me that hard to get momentum, dear.
I just think back to how big you were in the dreaming. I overcompensate.
I will admit, thinking back to being that tall was pretty nice, she says, actively looking up at you a bit.
Height is not all it seems to be.
Well, I'm certain that it offers a slightly different perspective.
Can I make you chocolate? Or are you drinking coffee today?
I think I'm going more coffee. I'm needing to be a bit more awake. Snow always makes me feel like cozying up and just curling into a blanket. And I have things I want to do today.
I'll start brewing the coffee, but in her mug, I'm going to take off a little chunk of like a Hershey's chocolate bar and just put it at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. As you both sit and eat, talk, after a little bit, she sort of gets more contemplative.
Where are you?
Present, but also
Not.
marveling that I missed so much so quickly.
If it's any consolation, so did I. And I'll hold her hand.
Oh, yes, because of course the thing that I love to hear is that my husband suffered when I wasn't around to care for him too.
Suffered is a strong word. I had a chair.
Honey, the walls were still the same eggshell white. That's suffering.
They were painted.
She lovingly stand up and walks around and just with her antlers like bumps against your horns. What are you planning to do today?
Try not to buy you any more plants.
They are getting a little bit lacking in shelf space, aren't they?
A little bit.
Just remember, we don't have any more open windows. So if you're going to get more for me, just please get ones that are okay with shade.
I'm not. I was going to talk to Madeline to see how she's doing.
I still can't believe that you just happened to stumble across one. Swimming of all things. You always think it's the selkies that you're going to find in the water.
Yes. It was a strange week when all that happened.
I don't doubt that. And then you got to help revitalize living legend Aggie Sprocket. That's also kind of hilarious.
I was just there. I didn't help that much.
I actually spoke to a knocker friend of mine the other day when I was just sort of taking a walk. Yeah, she said that you've been banned from the best inn in town. Why is that?
Misunderstanding?
Honey, the knockers don't ban people unless they have good reason.
I tried to punch one of them.
Okay, that's a good reason. Why did you try to punch one of them?
It's a misunderstanding.
Uh-huh. Her face is getting a bit red, but it's not exactly a blush.
I'll stand up and go grab the coffee for us.
She takes her mug lovingly and takes a sip. Good call, hon. Very good call. And she takes a bigger sip.
I'm remembering things.
I am too. Things are drifting back, but spending enough time in the dreaming is a little, I don't know, I sort of feel drunk and hungover at the same time.
You should spend some time with Esmeralda. She's good at helping people.
So I've heard. Well, I hope that whatever happens for you today, whether it be here with me, enjoying very chocolatey coffee, or out in the world. May it be fruitful either way. And you not get run over by Lucifer. And she finishes the coffee.
Oh, it's still daytime. He only runs at night.
I don't know. It's starting to seem like it's around that time of year where he gets more randomly active.
I promise that until I find enough rope to tie him down, that I will not deal with Lucifer.
If you can find rope that can hold that beast, I will be more than impressed.
Esmeralda has tasked me to find it.
I am now very concerned as to what an Ishu could be asking you to help her with, because no offense to her, but Ishu tend to be a little bit risk-takey.
I don't ask questions.
You really should, hun. She gives a half exasperated, half I love this man smile and caresses your cheek. And from that, we will shift over once again to something a little different, less personal. We find ourselves in court. Where several nobles from varying houses are present. Lady Embra and Lady Honey Badger are in attendance. Because, as was said with your summons, all nobility available must attend this meeting. No commoners were summoned.
Definitely seek out Honey as soon as I see her.
Honey, I'm assuming you are in your usual bench in the corner.
Not just in the bench, she's brought some of the most finest nobles that any knocker or any other people that cannot be can't stand any other fucking bitches. Not only do we all have our own Garrett's bag of popcorn, we are sharing it, we are talking, we are loud, we are abrasive, and we give no fucks. Oh, and we do have the bagels and donuts from Vivari's Bakery, and no bitches can get it without somebody saying hi to us. Fuck 'em.
There has been a total of 3 nobles who have taken you up on your snacks.
Fine. The rest is for us. Fuck those bitches.
Lady Swift, so good to see you again.
What up, Embra?
Well, not much currently. Wondering what the hubbub is. I have a few ideas, but do you mind if I sit here with you?
Question is that do you mind sitting with all of us because we're all a friend pack? And what's your favorite popcorn?
I like white cheddar. I think it's probably my favorite.
Who's got the cheddar? And you start to see a bag being thrown.
Yeah, one of the bags gets passed up. Embra, sitting around Honey is exactly 2 knockers and an autumn she specifically. You can tell because their beauty, while stunning, is more grounded. So it's more realistic and earthly.
Doing my best not to be uncomfortable.
She there sits before you, and you know this woman. She is very well known in court and outside of it. Her name is Lady Amanda. She is a gorgeous black woman with her hair tied back in this time, all the curls pulled back and then puffing out at the ends. And her dark brown eyes have flecks of gold within the irises, mirroring her lovely hair. And at this moment, she is in a very, very fine but oddly warm-looking dress. But it's like a dress that is clearly designed to be worn in the winter. And she is of House Ilunid.
Lady Amanda, so good to see you again.
And good to see you as well, my Lady Embra. I'm happy to see you well. Lady Swift has some of the best snacks I think I've ever had while sitting at court.
Mandy Pandy decided to say hi. I said, fuck yeah, come on, sit down.
Fair enough. I'll take my seat next to her and we'll start eating some of the.
Oh, and pardon, this is quite rude of me. May I introduce Sketch and Skitch? And she holds her hand out to two knockers. They are Knights of House Dougal.
Pleasure to meet you, Sketch and Skitch.
They seem
What's
like
up, Sketchies?
they seem like twin knockers.
Makes sense.
It is very much if you put a filter to swap their genders, they would just look like each other sort of a deal. The only real difference is that Skitch has her hair into pigtails and Sketch has his just up and out in every direction. Sort of looks like he purposefully electrocuted himself to get his hairstyling right.
What flavors y'all want?
The two knockers seem to go for the caramel corn.
So my people, thank you. I got people. What? Yeah, sorry.
Do either of you know what this summons is about? I find myself uncharacteristically out of the loop.
No. Are you kidding?
Same for me. I'm surprised to be here, though I imagine I have some mutterings around the edges, possibly something to do with the recent instability with the dreaming. I don't know if you've noticed, but
I've done my best to hope that it is being taken care of. Unfortunately, nothing is changing. Two of my own friends have disappeared.
oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
If this doesn't become handled soon, I fear that we're going to have an accordance issue, and I truly don't want that.
Don't worry. My uncle finally showed up. Like, he was disappeared for like 5 fucking years. He only showed up at my door like what, 2-3 months ago with that murderer. So yeah, you're fine. Don't worry. The draining finds a way to pop people back into life.
Maybe.
Don't say maybe. If you don't faith in the dreaming, do you have any faith at all?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can
Coming from a fucking rap cap. Jesus. His goals, write it down.
I suppose you can at least say that you can have faith that the dreaming will always be itself.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, it's fucking facts.
Exceedingly so. That's part of its charm.
I've been trying to figure out what I can, but I'm only a real estate agent. It's a little hard to figure out societal things just based on a housing market for me. Maybe if I was a member of House Varick or something, I could analyze it better, but I don't know.
Oh, what kind of people are those? Fucking Christ. Aren't those the creepy dudes?
I believe they began their origins somewhere near Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least they're in the right temperature.
But they're the pattern. They recognize, they analyze. Oftentimes, if you meet a she who says they know someone in banking, they're referring to House Varick.
No, they're talking about a guy in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, all that shit.
I mean, without the incredibly shallow demands, but yes, maybe.
Oh, okay, cool. Don't know any of those. I don't think I want to know any.
I would hope that any who would try to flirt with House Varick and want a man in finance would understand that House Varick have all sworn off of the oath of true hearts and could never express the deepest love possible anyways. So it would kind of be pointless to be around them for that.
That's okay. My boyfriend's right over there. He's fine. He ain't in that house.
Yes, well, House Fiona's been similarly radio silent, so I must say, I hope at least some of our concerns are acknowledged today. Things have been in a bit of flux, so nervous.
Fucking fuck with the fucking... Hi, everyone.
God damn, you pulled a Ben again? Jesus Christ.
No, we can't even say it at this point. I do it too much for it to be pulling a Ben. It's just muting myself like an idiot.
Oh, it's pulling a Maddox. Got it.
Yes. Embra, Lady Amanda turns and says, "Are you the only active member of your house within the city?"
I believe so, for the moment.
That is odd. There was some Fiona when the Gwydion were running things, although it seems like they drifted.
Oh, they all ducked and ran. So did my house.
Yeah.
As you all then hear a door open, and walking in with a very fine, elegant purple, violet, and black dress that seems like the colors and fabric are flowing around the dress like water,
Oh, speaking of hell.
is the Duchess.
Great.
As she sits down with a small escort that she has brought along and quickly and noticeably gets everyone's attention.
Honey starts eating more loudly.
Lords and ladies, sirs, squires even. There is a problem within this city. Several members of our community have vanished. Several from our houses, including the former holder of the freehold, Lady Charlotte ap Gwydion, has not been seen in some time. 2 other nobles included. A score of commoners. Something is taking us. Chief and above all else, I encourage you all, please, to exercise caution when out anywhere. If at all possible, do not be out alone. There are efforts being put forth to investigate and find who is responsible for these disappearances and putting a stop to it. I call this meeting so that you all will understand the gravity and importance of such things and follow a request of mine. This is not an order, but I would highly encourage and ask all of you to not spread this information. The last thing we need, especially in this delicate time, is a panic. So I urge all of you not to share this with the commoners. And many of the nobles are sort of nodding their heads like, yeah, that makes sense. And between the ones around all of you and then a couple scattered throughout the room, there's also some confusion. There's even 1 or 2 that are outright shocked.
Hey, MB.
Yes.
You should tell her about the people that came to your house, the guys in the white stuff. That might be important now.
I'll do it after the...
Oh, no. You should do it now in front of everyone so they can tell and say, hey, maybe I had that or that happened to me or somebody down the block had that. This is something that the people should know, you know? Come on.
If I may, Duchess.
And every single person turns and locks eyes right onto Embra.
We've recently, at my own freehold, had an encounter with individuals dressed in scrubs. We believe that they may have been intending to, well, kidnap someone, myself or otherwise, but we're not certain. Has anyone else had an experience like this? Anyone snooping around their freeholds?
As people are looking around, there's not too much in the way of people seeming to corroborate anything like that.
Good job, MB.
And the dear Duchess leans forward a bit. Pray tell, do you have any more details? Perhaps if they had some sort of monogramming or any such thing? I'm not certain exactly how much detail one could have on scrubs.
Do I have more detail? They were... Several of them were massacred, so did they have any markings, anything that they held?
Embra's exact retelling came in the form of this sentence. They tried to break in. I fucked them up. Sorry. And she was mainly saying sorry for your front door. So you're lucky that you got they were in scrubs and are now dead.
Hey, Ducky, I got a thing for you. Yeah, it's it's about the MB thing.
Just to clarify, Junie, are you referring to the Duchess when you said that?
Fuck yeah. Got no etiquette.
No, you certainly don't. As she turns and my apologies, Lady Swift. Could I please hear that again?
No, hidden city. I was just trying to get your attention. I got it, right? Yes? You liking me?
Completely.
Oh, cool. So I run a couple of neighborhood watches and shit. And they were seeing this white van. They really couldn't get a whole clock on it because it's kind of nondescript to script. But they had they did have an emblem, and it had kind of like an E, but not E as the letter, as an E as in the word. Does that jive with you?
She leans over to someone who's like standing near the throne, and they whisper something back. We have had reports of similar vans being sighted in other areas of the city.
Yeah.
But I will say that the logo is different than what we've been noticing.
Fucking baller. God damn it. They can't be even situated on that shit. Yeah, what? What up, Ducky?
There seems to...
My cheeks are red. Just embarrassed as fuck.
So done.
She smiles, and for those who do have etiquette or significant, not little bits, but significant levels of empathy, will notice that, the Duchess is a little bit annoyed. She's not furious, but she's a little bit annoyed. She's hiding it well, but whoa. But there are two companies that we have noticed with these vans. One has the branding that I'm sure many here know of Pentex. It's a rather large company, and they are multinational. There is another logoed van that we have seen. They have the branding Bellerophon. We are currently looking into this company as they have a small, barely visible asterisk underneath their name that also says Pentex. Those are the only white vans we're seeing with any consistency that don't belong to construction workers.
So what are they, cousin companies or something?
Or a subsidiary. Pentex owns lots of interests in the city and outside of it.
That's some bullshit. Do we eat them?
Uncertain. At this juncture, we don't even have true evidence if these are the causes of the disappearances.
Okay, so pretty much just report and scout.
Yes, and please do not confront any of these vans should you come upon them. Report them as necessary to someone who can get the information to me, and we can go from there.
Oh, sure. You got a list that I can put on my phone?
Not yet.
Well, then how much?
We
okay,
should
how about
soon.
I'll just come here and start yelling out for you. Better? Shh, that's fine, MB. I'm good.
Court is dismissed. I thank you all for your time. And then there are many nobles who are like, yeah, we're getting out of here, and start leaving. And then there's some that are just milling about and talking.
It's fine, MB.
And
What do you expect from House Scathage?
And honey, you lock eyes with Simon, who is miming, and you can tell he's miming, but he's also genuinely expressing himself. He is miming, silently belly laughing. Like he is pretending to clutch himself, like, and it's making everyone near him uncomfortable because they're all staring at his teeth.
Lady Ember is going to sit down and, for just a moment, put her hands over her face.
Here you go. I got some for you. Here, MB, drink this. Take a big healthy swig. It's Screwball whiskey.
And Embra, all you taste is peanut butter. All you taste is peanut butter.
It's like the best fucking whiskey ever.
That's what Screwball is.
Goodness.
It's not bad, but it's noticeable.
I do have a jelly donut, so you can do PB&J if you want.
That's quite all right.
It's amazing. It tastes fantastic in your mouth. It's like this whole dance of flavors. It's great.
Now that Simon has stopped laughing, he quickly takes out his phone and like types something. And honey, you immediately feel a text. I've never been more attracted to you.
Same, babe. Dinner tonight?
Sure. Italian?
Cool. You know, I haven't eaten in Italian in a while. Why not?
And then he just sends back a spaghetti emoji, black heart.
And she'll do black heart, big mouth, kind of like Jaws things, black heart. And then she'll say, I got to go back to work because we're doing the whole plowing effort around here. But at the same time, I'm waiting for that fucking acceptance thing. Have you ever had to wait forever to be accepted? It sucks.
Ellipses. Yes.
Are you listening in on this? Why don't you get your fine ass over here and say hello to the lady? Jesus.
Unfortunately, I have to go. Give them my best. Winky face. And then he exits out a side. And then you see him blow you a kiss and walk out a side door.
I'm going to text Bella. How hard do you think it would be to strangle a red cap?
And then there is 3 question marks followed by quite difficult depending on the red cap, my lady.
I got to go back up into Morris and Uguant. Do you need a lift back up to your B&B?
I drove here myself, but thank you for the offer, dear.
Oh, sure. I got to go up into the community college.
Of course. And I've got to go home and get a few things squared away.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun. If you need something, Uncle's up there too, so.
Oh,
of course.
Lady Amanda quickly holds up her hand. But before the two of you go,
yeah,
your friends, your group.
The Natley? Yeah. What's about it?
Oh, that's a good term. Yes, your Notley.
Yeah. What of it?
Yes. Well,
I would need some time to gather everything, but is there a chance I could meet with all of you?
Yeah, sure. I can grab him.
If it helps, I know Vincent. He and I are friends. If that makes connecting with everyone easier.
Of course.
Well, if Vinny can vouch for you, sure.
Is this a social gathering or information trading? What are you looking for?
I suppose it could be something of both. I haven't met them in the classic sense, but I know of reputations that each of you have. And
of course.
Within one group that is not a motley, there is an impressive amount of work that has been done. And I feel that is a resource untapped, if that would be okay to say.
I mean, I can't say that we're not. We are tapped on resources, but at the same time, you just want to meet us to then turn around and then slick us some information when we need it?
As well as maybe help compare notes on the disappearances.
Ooh, Bella will be
about all this
very
bullshit?
happy to attend. I will make sure she's there as well. Yes, I suppose we could do that. Should we set it up at a restaurant or a freehold?
Oh, no. I have a reservation annually at the Botanic Gardens.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
Hi.
We can simply meet in one of their event spaces.
Perfect.
They got things
I'm
I can munch
they'll
on
love
there?
to attend.
Oh, yes, they do.
Fucking A, man.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
And you as well, Lady Amanda.
Sure.
And with that, she then stands up. And as nervous and not small or timid, but there is a certain almost anxiety under her words. As much as it feels like you're noticing it, it never actually reaches her tone. Because again, she can't look unput together, no matter how, if she tried to, they couldn't. So who knows if she's actually that nervous, or maybe it's some form of act to make her more human.
Maybe.
I'm texting Radari. He's got to know. Technically, he's not commoner. He's a noble.
He is a noble.
My invitation got lost in the mail.
I mean, I can't help it if other people may or may not have found out, because I had to text Radari and we may or may not be on a group channel. And actually, one of them is like literally related to the ducky because, I mean, it's a kid.
And Oscar, it was so lost in the mail that your wife found it, told you about it, and then promptly threw it in the recycling.
They've not hurt me.
So
They are so perfect for each other.
Now, okay.
Yeah. Honey will be just walking with you, talking and texting. Oh my God, I text a group chat. She will text a group chat of the missing Gwydion knight, because the name just escaped my head.
Lady Charlotte.
Thank you.
Or Charlotte.
Lady Charlotte.
Charlotte.
And then she'll say, this is what was the meeting was about. And she'll go, funny, they told us not to tell the commoners, but I can't help it that another noble person who wasn't here didn't get the memo or the information, but that's fine. I'm sharing with the other noble. Everyone just hearsay. I'm the wind. Whoo!
Yeah, we can't be responsible
As
for
soon
things
as
over here.
Esmeralda gets this text, her and Vincent have poured themselves cups of cocoa, and they've taken over the TV from Jolly. He can go fuck off.
Jolly's exact words were, all right, I guess I needed to go out on the town for a bit anyways, and then he walked out the back door.
Do everything I wouldn't do. And
you fucking know it.
I'm going to send a picture of my empty hands to the group chat and just write, this is where my invitation is.
If I had one.
And S just says, you have your priorities straight. And she looks at Vincent and says, were you playing hooky this morning?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Honey, we'll text and say, hey, we missed Vincent here. If he's not here, you bet your sweet ass he's probably playing hooky, bitch.
And she says, oh, he played hooky.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
See you next Tuesday. The fuck?
We are presently enjoying cocoa and watching a movie.
He takes a long draw from his cocoa.
I will.
Long draw.
Slippery son of a bitch. He makes good popcorn too.
And she just looks at him and says, that impresses me.
I knew what they were going to be talking about. It's nothing new.
Yeah, I mean, S literally sends back, haven't I been talking about this for like 2 months?
When you know about white vans with the names of Pentex and Belafonte, let me know, because apparently they're cousin companies that are icky, gross, and maybe causing the disappearances. Suck it, Vincent. I got information.
And she just shows the text to Vincent.
Yeah, I'm going to put in 3 ellipses and then ask, is everybody done so I can give information?
I I will text one more. Just how do we feel about a trip to the botanical gardens?
Yeah, we got invited.
So we're not done. Let me know when we're done. And
Are
then
these messages still
We
popping
can
up
finish.
as you're holding it out to Vince?
I'm sitting at the driver's seat of my car. Just
I must say that your group chat is quite active today.
Ace sends a GIF, the GIF of the woman thinking with all the things around her head.
yes.
The mathematics everywhere.
She's driving home, kind of just voice texting as she's driving.
I needed somebody to be the giffer of the chat. I appreciate you, Ace. But I'll type in. Lady Charlotte has been missing since the Duke dance with the Dantain juice. She used to be my mentor in the court.
they're officially acknowledging it now.
She was also the Chatelaine, which was basically when the Duke wasn't around, she ran the shit.
She was the right hand.
Acknowledging
I
her
put that-
by name.
Like she was responsible for everything that happened in that freehold.
I was told not to look for her.
Who told you that? S sends that.
Storyteller, who was it that told me not to worry about it?
I believe it was your house directly who said that.
Okay. I'll put that down.
S doesn't respond, but she gets a look of grave concern on her face.
Ace types. It's the first time Ace actually typed something.
Yeah.
Hiding rather than missing? Question mark.
Ooh.
And S
likely.
says, same train of thought from what?
Then
Retribution, justice, maybe.
I'll do my best to send a GIF of like the exactly,
Mhm.
and then I just actually send a GIF of the word exactly.
You're getting better. You're getting
Ace sends a
better.
GIF of just clapping.
And then just the word fuck.
No, you're supposed to use this GIF, and she'll use the GIF of The Witcher and him walking in and just going fuck. That one, use that one.
Esmeralda.
Yes.
Through your serious look, Vincent does his best to like just quickly like get your attention.
Mm-hmm. She looks at him.
They are currently, while being earnest, fucking about. May I respond with something?
Yes.
And he does a quick text. And what he types out is in quotations, and then he ends it with a dash that says Vincent, so people know that he's the one saying it.
Is using her phone.
Mm-hmm. And it says, the Scatha is just embarrassed that the Beaumain outquieted her and snuck out before she could even try. Before
Listen
he can,
here. Ace
wait,
is going to start a video
wait.
call. This is ridiculous.
Hold up. Before he can send it, you see something come over him. He's looking at the phone, and then suddenly, as his eyes turn clouded and milky, and just absently, he shifts and looks at you. But it's clear that he's not looking at you. Fear the Chimera Slayer. Fear the gray walls. Speak not in prayer. Suffer in autumn, but never fall. And he blinks, and his eyes are back to normal. What did I say?
She repeats it back verbatim.
Mm. And now, Vincent's face mirrors your own. He almost seems shaken.
She will put a hand to his cheek.
The last time I spoke prophecy, the city exploded.
Does a heavy burden you bear?
Is the burden all Beaumain bear?
I know. We have seers in our line, too. I'm familiar.
I do not regret belonging to my house. I do regret the weight of what being a prophet is.
Many who are do.
And he just pulls in for probably a little too tight of a hug.
She gives it to him. And she removes the text that he was going to send because that was being a douchebag.
Hey, he would have acknowledged that, yes, it was, but he was doing it intentionally.
And she literally shows him she's erasing his text and says, don't be an ass to my friends.
I was attempting to be playful.
I get it, but don't be an ass to my friends. Honey's a unicorn. Treat her with respect.
True.
I respect our house entirely, but to not give a house shit is almost anti-she.
True.
Okay, so Ace can start the video call.
He's like, this is ridiculous. And you see Ace is outside in the snow.
Yeah, same.
So what are we going to do about it?
Well, Vincent just had a prophecy.
Really? What did he say?
And S says it.
Here, just for storyteller sanity, I will repeat it.
Thank you. Because
Without-
I don't memorize shit.
Did you post it somewhere?
Yes, and I will also be posting it without the gravitas in my voice because, well, he's not saying it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And S is like, y'all really, though, you're missing out on some damn good cocoa. And she takes another sip.
when Honey's camera finally gets on, you see her. She's driving. She's on a motorcycle. You guys are off to the side, and it's kind of like the Star Trek Millennia Falcon feel.
You see Ace have the same effect, but not as fast because going downhill on a sled. And you hear a bunch of noise as like Ace hits the ground a couple times.
I'm outside of Ray's bakery shop drinking like my actual coffee.
Just in my car. Still at the meeting place.
Oh, no.
So-
Esmeralda and Vincent are literally snuggled up on the couch with an Afghan over them with cups of cocoa.
And Vincent very casually just holds up his mug of cocoa in a toast to everyone and then takes a sip. He doesn't say anything.
At least one of us is comfortable.
Wait,
Yeah,
so what are we
some of
going
us
to do?
had a noble responsibility, Vincent.
All right. Well, one last time for government work. Fear the Chimera Slayer, fear the gray walls. Speak not in prayer, suffer in autumn, but never fall.
The fuck does that mean?
Who is the Chimera Slayer? What is the Chimera Slayer?
Mm-hmm.
Because it isn't always a who.
Is
If
gray
we-
walls banality?
Or could the Chimera Slayer be banality in this case?
Could be.
Either is applicable.
I mean,
Can
fear
I do
in either
perception?
way.
Can I do perception enigmas?
This I would probably lean more towards intelligence enigmas.
Oh, okay. One less die. That's fine. Then I'm going to spend a point of willpower because
That's fine.
yeah. Okay.
I will do that too, if that's all
Go
right.
for it.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I have a little bit of enigma. We'll see.
Sure. There are
First
plenty
rolls of the season, everyone.
There are plenty of stories of changelings taking out Chimera.
I got a 3 on that.
I got a 4.
I was
I
told
got
that
2.
One.
I killed the manticore.
I did kill a lot of nightmares though.
Oscar, for the Manticore thing, there's a very subtle thing from Vincent where it's just as he's taking a sip, and then it goes back down and he finishes drinking. Okay. One more time for the one time. It was a 3, a 4, and
1.
2 and a 1. Okay. Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Run the sequence. Fucking mathematical bitches. Anyways. Okay. Sorry. I only hack on that because I'm bad at math. Chimera Slayer is, of course, as most prophecies, generic as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Oscar straight up said, changelings and chimera have fought since the dreaming existed. because some chimera just don't know when to leave the well enough alone. And so they end up fucking with things. To say that something is like chimera slayer does narrow it down a bit, only because to properly slay a chimera, it has to be done so with something banal, cold iron, or just a chimera that exists in a banal place for too long and then is winked out. Things that don't repurpose the dream stuff and dream energy back into the dreaming to make a different chimera or the same chimera or a chrysalis or whatever the fuck it would want to do.
Right.
So for the part of chimera slayer, banal is about as specific as that feels at the moment. The gray walls could also technically represent banality, but banality is not so much of a wall because that would give it too much presence. The problem with banality is that it is a study in average to the point of it being not suffocating, but just oppressively average. It's so not feeling that it feels.
And then autumn.
The wordplay between autumn and fall is noticeable.
Yes.
It's Shakespearean almost.
Yes.
Is it about the dreaming period? Fear the things that can harm it, including the barrier of banality. We've talked about how the dreaming is screaming.
Yes. Heard.
Or the autumn people.
I was hearing it all around the world when I was touring.
And it's because of all the suffering happening here. We got to fix it.
I should state, and I'm not certain if this is true for others of my house, but for my prophecies, they tend towards the literal. I cannot say that it is a consistency, but they tend towards the literal. I can only think to what I spoke to you all when we first met.
Yes.
From the Dark Beltane Blade, who, as far as I have surmised, turned out to be Killian.
Yes.
Bertella, what color were the walls of Aggie's prison?
Oh, the little panic room that she was in?
Mm-hmm.
They were sort of an off yellow, sort of mildly gold color. Something that was pleasing to the eye, but not like overly exciting.
Okay.
The gray wall being literal, is there something that might be called the gray wall? Maybe it's a place, maybe it's an event of some kind.
And he just walks into her garage area and just shows the gray walls of the garage going, dude, it's just a color.
I don't know if this is a thing that I could do, but is there any way I could use naming of some sort to get, to understand what is referred to as the gray wall, if there is anything referred to it as that?
Maybe. Let me double check. I'm assuming you're looking at between the lines for this?
Yeah, that works. Unravel riddles.
Realm dictates source of a message learned. In this instance, I don't think naming would provide you with the answers Ace would probably be wanting from it.
Got it. Okay, worth a shot.
For a second, I was so stuck in Demon, I thought you were going to say, can I sense congruence? I don't have to deal with that power set. I'm fine.
Thank goodness.
Might as well be.
I'll take Changeling over Demon any day. God damn. But no, sorry, not in this instance.
Can I try and pull on something with my knowledge of Greymare? Maybe it's an effect or some sort of magic, something that relates to that.
I will say, without needing to roll, there is nothing that would refer to a gray wall in Changeling or magical study that you might have known about. Like without a need for a roll, I can give you that.
How about politics?
Storyteller? Do I feel like there may be something in the library within my freehold that may help with this?
Library was curated by your granddad, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Specifically, actually, as would feel almost factually in her soul that no, her library would not offer anything for that.
Okay.
We got nothing.
Duncan's going to walk into her office where her uncle is and just say out the thing to him to see what his reaction is.
You guys are now joined by a knocker who is currently in a very nice plaid bathrobe. As he's got like 6 mugs of tea steeping in front of him, honey, as you get home. But he takes the phone and like weighs in. I've got to admit to you all, this is above my pay grade. Most prophecy shit is. If you're looking for figuring out prophecy, talk to a soothsayer. That's the only advice I can really give. But granted, I'm also really out of the loop, so I don't even know what soothsayers are in town. Or if maybe you can get one from out of state if they're wayfared here.
There's also the March Hare.
If you can find and stop the March Hare for a conversation, more fucking power to you, all of you.
I accept the challenge.
I was gonna say, Ez, where your feet plant?
I can help find the March Hare if we need it.
Good.
Sounds like what we're doing tomorrow.
Lucifer.
Sorry, that triggers the Aishu fucking frailty.
Yes, it does. In some ways, it's almost like most knockers don't give a fuck if they trigger people's frailties.
Challenge accepted.
To which, honey, you see your uncle just nod. It's like, all right, well, maybe it'll actually be possible. Who knows?
Suppose we'll find out.
Jesus fuck.
Hey, I've seen Ishu fail at shit before, but they still failed in a way that they were happy with.
Because it's always a story.
Oh, fuck off, people. Swear to God.
It may also be worth checking the Sluoth library again.
Oh, you guys can go do that. I don't want to. That's a pain in the ass.
I'll ask Bella. She's much more likely to be, accepted on a day-to-day basis.
Me in a library? Ugh. I almost came close to eating their books.
She looks to Vincent and says,
pissed.
want to go on a little adventure?
I can't believe I have to say this, but let me check my schedule.
Oh my God.
Literally. How do you
play
fucking
hope you won.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's a she.
You act surprised.
No, I'm not.
It's important.
Fucking, Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Say yes to the woman.
I have a direct message from the Duchess. It is fine. Spin with the issue.
Aw, Ducky said it was fine.
It's not a political appointment that I would need to keep. It revolves around my work.
I understand.
You work?
Yes, he
Constantly.
works.
Holy shit.
Actually,
I didn't
as
know
you
you did
say
that.
honey, as you say you work, everyone can see just for a second. Vincent's face almost looks tired. That's how tired he probably is. He almost looks tired.
I
Holy
thought
shit.
Doug did all your work.
Yeah.
Doug's just my driver. And he
The
did
one who looked pretty.
constantly, yes, but that's not my job.
Oh, I thought that was your job.
Goodness.
No, if a she gets hired to look pretty, they're being paid for nothing.
Considering a job in modeling.
So can we move forward to the date so I don't throw up in my mouth?
Wow. Goddamn. Hi to you too, Verdari. Damn.
Where are we going and what can we do?
Okay, we got a date with this other chick too. This other she chick.
Who?
Apparently at the botanical
Lady
gardens.
Amanda.
Yeah, Mandy Pandy. She wanted to meet all of us.
Why?
Is that the one that we saw leaving your office?
Yes, on the human side of things, Amanda is a very accomplished realtor. And so I meet with her occasionally because on certain legal fronts, sometimes people think they can sneak certain codes under her notice, and she consults with me.
Ah, got you.
So we are good friends on the human side, and just by virtue of being both Cathane, we are also friends there as well.
Mm. So
And
when is she wanting us to meet her at the botanical gardens?
Seemed like a dinner invitation.
Today?
I don't know. She just kind of left it open like most people do.
Oh, fuck it.
Because we hadn't gotten.
I can
contact
always
y'all
eat.
yet.
She
All
tends to work around other schedules because of her work. So I think out of habit, she probably just offered it as an open-ended invitation and just confirm a time with her. She can make most anything work, I promise you.
Do you have her number, Vincent?
Yes, I can send it to you.
Thank you so much. And Radari, the goal will be a sort of information exchange, especially with the Duchess now acknowledging the disappearances in the city. So
Let me guess, she's trying to prevent a freaking commoner revolt by excluding the commoners from her announcement.
bingo.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
that's going to work really well.
Yeah, she didn't really like it when I called her Ducky twice in the same breath.
You
almost.
did it, didn't you?
You have no idea the temptation
Vincent
to tell
does
my
gasp
sister.
that.
That's right.
I look at Vincent just like, yes, it was quite the experience.
That's hilarious.
Tell me about it.
And I'm so sorry, Ace. My gasp interrupted you. You were saying
You have no idea the temptation to tell my sister that's her nickname now.
Yes, tell her it's her nickname.
I can't cause family problems for my sister.
Dare you?
Oh no.
Oh,
matters more to me.
no.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, a
It's
chloroquine
weird.
turning down a
How
dare.
is your
I've seen
sister,
everything.
Ace?
Somebody screen cap this.
She's here. I imagine she's just being pushed down the sled or like at the bottom of the hill. Not well. It's bad.
Do we need to get Lucifer?
No, I think I have an idea.
We
She
need a
with the
house
class?
medium.
Oh, suppose if you think she could handle it, you could show her
No,
real.
she's Cathane. And she's been neglected.
Well, yeah, like her mom. No offense, Ace.
just to clarify, Esmeralda, did you mean to say Kinane?
Yeah,
With
Canane, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I slipped.
Just had to clarify.
Canane. She's Canane and she's been neglected.
Something is certainly wrong, but regardless, let's meet up in a few hours. Did we want to do the Botanic Gardens tonight?
Or, God, with the snow coming down.
Let me do it next time so we can maybe get Ravari in and then maybe I can actually eat some good food.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta find someone to watch my sister.
Hey, my uncle can do it.
Bring her here.
Okay,
Okay.
my uncle. Well, actually, my uncle can bring. I can bring my uncle there.
Bring her uncle here. It's fine.
Sweet.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do with him.
Does the group have any last little wrap up things? Because otherwise, I feel like this is an excellent break spot.
S just looks at Vincent and says, I'm sorry you're going to miss the adventure.
I will be having one of my own. I promise to bring pictures. And he does give you a small peck on the cheek for that. And with this lovely bit of sentiment, the video call ends, and we're going to break, everyone.
All right.
Yay.
We'll be back in 10, y'all.
Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you for part 2. Are we back?
Yep.
Brilliant. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for the first half. The Cathane of Denver are dealing with a lovely bit of snow and then just a delightful info dump and then more people pointing out, hey, this whole duchy of Denver is kind of turning to shit. What's happening? And they're slowly getting small leads and clues here and there on what's causing these disappearances. We congregate with everyone in Esmeralda's living room, having arrived in separate vehicles, carpooling or individually, up to you. But everyone is here, including Vincent, who has decided to stick around until the wire of him needing to get out of here.
Look at you living on the edge. I'm proud of you.
He gives an eye roll that, as can tell, is only half-hearted. He's like, I'm doing this more out of habit. And then he just sits back and takes a sip of his cocoa. And he did specify, the thermos is not infinite cocoa, but there's far more cocoa than there probably normally would be.
And S has offered everyone cocoa that would like some.
And folks,
because it is really good.
It is.
You weren't kidding, Vincent. Goodness. Oh,
I even have some muffins in the kitchen if you want some.
Oh, yes, please.
Ace's
I skipped out on
sister
breakfast.
is here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, everybody meet Anne. This is my sister.
Hi, Anne.
All right.
Hello there, sweetheart.
Stop.
She sort of looks around at everyone, looks at Vincent, looks at Embra. My sister's prettier.
Ah, shit, you went there. GG, kid.
Wow, Anne.
And Vincent just sort of has this look of like, this little shit, and takes another sip of his cocoa.
Damn, I guess you are my sibling.
Wow.
The most hurtful things are always said from those with no filter.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes another sip.
Filter. What the fuck is that? Did I eat it?
Probably.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Where's the
Anne,
child?
what do you like?
And you see her face fall as she thinks.
It's all right. You're not
And then
on the spot.
And then she just doesn't give an answer.
Don't you like fish?
Oh, yeah. Fish is tasty. It's nice. They're cool to watch swim.
Have you ever heard the story of the fish girl?
No? What do you...
It's one of my
what do you
favorites.
mean? Like a girl who likes fish like me?
Well, she was the only daughter of a couple that was rather spoiled, really. She was beautiful, but she never really helped her parents. Her father was a fisherman, and her mother was a homemaker. And one day, her mother was truly just exhausted. This child never helped, and she had to do all the labor of the house. And the child actually noticed how tired her mother looked and asked to help her so that she could rest. And her mother was so surprised by this kindness that it made the girl feel ashamed for how spoiled she had acted. And the mother could have asked her to scrub the house top to bottom, and she would have done it in that moment. But instead, the mother smiled at her daughter with love in her eyes and said, "If you wish to help, take the net down by the river and tie up the holes in it so that your father can catch our dinner tonight." And the little girl, of course, did. She was so proud of her work because she really gave her all to it. There was not a hole to be found in that net. It was solid and would catch a good dinner. But as she was folding her net to bring it back to the house, she heard a splash behind her in the river. It was the biggest fish she had ever seen, and she knew she had to catch it. But that fish looked at her and says, "If you catch me and kill me, I will turn you into a fish." She didn't believe him. She laughed and caught him anyway. Brought him home to her mother, the biggest fish they had ever seen. And as she went to find flowers to put in her hair while her mother prepared their dinner, she heard the bell announcing dinner was done. And she came in and told her mother, "I told you that'd be the best tasting fish ever." And she took a bite. And then her eyes became round. She started gasping for air, and her arms and feet were stuck together. She leapt right out the window and into the river, where she swam to the sea. And a group of fish came up to her, asking for her story because she looked so sad. And she told them, "I'm not a fish, I'm a girl." And she started to cry. And one of the fish spoke up, "Yes, but you didn't believe the fish could turn you into one, did you?" And the fish, the school that had built up around her, escorted her down deep into the ocean to a queen of fish who sent her on a task. And she looks at the child, S does, and says, "Would you like to know more of this story?"
Yes.
"I have a book of it. You can read it. You like books, yes?"
I can read.
"Excellent." And she will go, not into her freehold library, into her actual library, and pull up a book of this Filipino fairy tale called The Fish Girl.
I bend down next to Anne and go, "I thought it was going to be the Little Mermaid. Is that what you thought?"
No. In The Little Mermaid, she dies in the end. And then she just keeps sort of looking after where Esmeralda went.
And Esmeralda is going to reverently open the book and flip through the pages, and she's going to infuse glamour into it. Just a point.
All right. Just a point?
Just a point.
Okay.
Just a little.
Okay.
And she hands the book to Anne and says, "You can keep it. I loved it as a child. And maybe you will love it too."
As she reaches her hands out and takes the book, you see a similar process. You all, I'm certain, have enchanted someone at some point. The glamour washes over and through and into them. tucks itself deep inside, gets nestled in. The glamour doesn't do that with her.
What does it do?
It swirls around. She brightens for a second. You can see
The light comes on.
The process of enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all gets sucked into her and is gone. And you don't feel any glamorous anything coming off of her. And then she looks up. I'll take good care of the book. And she tucks under her arm.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I couldn't help but notice that what you were saying was targeted.
No, not at all. It's truly the story. I thought it would be interesting because it is not a well-known tale. It's very rarely told on this side of the world.
I'm going to get up and just slowly turn my attention towards Ace. And like, just subtly shake my head no.
It sort of reminds me of other fairy tales people have told me.
Like what?
Stupid.
Mm.
I need all of you to give me a quick little roll if you could.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Oh my God.
Because just because she's not an autumn person does not mean that occasionally banality can't work through her.
Mm-hmm.
So how about y'all roll and defend from banality for the first time on stream, huh?
Oh boy.
And since everyone's in the room, I might as well roll for Vincent to do it too.
Yeah.
Oh
What does
my
that
gosh.
roll look like?
Yeah, how do?
If my memory is not Maddox's memory and is in fact storyteller memory,
Right.
it is your glamour that you'll be rolling. But allow me to double and triple check.
And this roll is affected by a nightmare dice, yes?
I stand by.
Okay.
I believe it is.
Because in the beginning of the night, you said glamour and art rolls were affected by nightmare. And now you're asking for a glamour roll, and my booty hole has puckered. Because I have nightmare points.
So do I.
So do I.
Oh. What is this girl's deal?
Yeah.
Ace is gonna start. Not like right this second.
Okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Got this. And sorry, Ace, I just want to get this info out there real quick.
Yeah.
You all, for this banality trigger, you shall be rolling your glamour at difficulty of 8. If the roll fails, character gains a point of banality. If the roll is a botch, character gains a point of banality for every one rolled. I recommend not botching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's not.
Other than that, I don't see much else. So until further notice, I would say...
You said when we roll glamour or we roll arts, we have to exchange out with nightmare dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Up to whatever the roll is, not max nightmare if we have more nightmare.
Just while I think this through for any storytellers on the audience who might also know, when your players ask about something that's a little meta, so you have to analyze way too much lore for a few seconds.
Yeah.
For this instance, no, your nightmare dice do not come into effect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we
Spend
can...
willpower or no?
Yeah, we can willpower.
I'm also going to say no.
Okay.
Oh,
So
do tends to explode on this.
Not for this, but tens still count as successes as they are, but not exploding on a banality trigger roll.
You said
What is our
8.
margin?
1 success, but difficulty 8.
Okay. Thank fuck. I've got two.
Well,
I also
Well,
got
this-
2.
while this is going
Okay.
on, can I do a perception gray mirror for seeing what the hell happened to her?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of in the same boat like Greymare.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah.
I've
Three
got
on my
that too.
glamour.
I got a
Okay.
3.
And I specifically have Greymare in enchantment. Can I use that?
Sure.
Oh, beautiful.
This definitely qualifies. It's a exception, not a rule, but
Can
it
I
definitely
use my
qualifies.
specialty of detail oriented under perception?
Yes.
Thank you.
Could I use my specialty of small changes under perception?
Yes.
Specialty makes 10s explode, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to roll a
And-
shitload then.
And I'm sorry, I got most of your glamour rolls, but let me hear them one more time. 3, 3,
3 on the glamour.
1, 2, 2. Okay. None of you gain banality, but you all felt it. It didn't punch you. Banality would have had to have more extreme impact for it to punch you, but you felt it.
Back your neck.
I had exploding
Yep.
10s. On the perception gray mare, I got 8 successes.
Oh, I only got 6, but
Hey,
nice.
oh, yeah, you
I'm
beat
not
my
even gonna
4.
Roll.
Okay.
I only got a 4.
I'm like stacked in that shit.
Firstly, there are things that drink glamour,
Mm-hmm.
but they do it differently than that. For
Mhm.
example, Radari, your beautiful, wonderful wife.
Mm-hmm.
Wolpertinger, yep.
Yep.
But the way Woppeltingers pull in glamour is just by their presence. It is not because Anne clearly wasn't pulling in glamour. Otherwise, stuff from the freehold would have started leaking towards her. That was entirely because the glamour interacted. As far as you all can easily tell, it's because the glamour went to her. So it was nothing she did. It was entirely the fact that the glamour found purchase. The only times you've really heard or read or anything about stuff like this happening is with things that are really high banality, where the glamour just sort of soaks in and doesn't do anything because maybe it wasn't enough, because that is a possibility.
That is
and
a possibility. She has a threshold.
Yeah, that's a historical problem. And only getting worse as, dreamings and imagination dies in the world. So it's only becoming harder
Mm-hmm.
to enchant mortals, especially
But
really
she's
higher
not strictly
banality
mortal.
ones.
She's supposed to be
I
Canaan.
know what.
Unless she
Another-
is just mortal.
Who knows?
Did
That is
I,
also a possibility.
when looking at her and really, really looking at her, did I notice any Fey marks?
Not so much, no.
Would Ace know of any?
Because
No.
Unseelie tend to see them as a flaw, and so thusly they get hidden.
They're at least from the parts of her you could observe, no. There was no sort of Feymark type thing. It's also strange because Canaan to say that Canaan need enchantment isn't quite accurate.
It's not.
Enchantment definitely is nice for them because it just gives them glamour, which they already exist in.
Right.
But they shouldn't need glamour to see the dreaming,
Right.
to see Chimera,
Unless they have been
Chithane
unless they have been
ravaged
or burnt
or
out.
There's also just a case to be made for enough exposure to extreme amounts of banality can really
deplete
mess
it.
a person up.
Right.
And it's not even necessarily like oh, I'm in the same room as this Autumn person all day, although that's not great.
Yeah.
But for Canaan, it's not, Autumn doesn't fuck them as hard as it does you guys.
Right.
It is far more gentle because they're human. Humans are already banal a little bit, so they're closer in that way. So those are the sorts of ideas you all are coming up with, because those successes were a lot. So it gave you a lot of ideas. So that's the initial stuff that you guys can get from those rolls. That is an impressive amount of banality, if that's what's holding back the glamour.
Ember will just yell out from the kitchen after experiencing that. Okay, who wants muffins?
Vincent politely raises his hand, and actually, as you'd definitely be the one to notice this, Vincent looks nauseous. Like, after she said those stories are stupid, he looks visibly green and nauseous.
Do you know why there are fairy tales, Anne? They are actually not stupid. They have a purpose. They are a way to convey, through oral tradition, history, value, ethics, morality, in a way that is engaging and entertaining, so that children will pay attention.
Wouldn't it make more sense just to tell people what values you want them to learn directly instead of going through all these?
Oh, certainly. And how well do children listen?
I don't know.
Well, you are a big kid. So you've got a little more patience. But like little kids, how well do they listen? Not very. They have the attention spans of gnats. Bless them. Because they are wildly creative while having the attention spans of gnats.
Like puzzles?
Wait, what do puzzles have to do with gnats?
No.
Nothing.
No. Hold on. Do you like puzzles? This is a question.
I guess.
Okay, there's not a guess. It's either you like it or you don't. You got to tell me, do you like one or do you not like puzzles? There's a definitive answer to this.
Yes or no question.
Do I have to like anything? If you all could do another banality trigger for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. This is bad.
It's more of, it's not that do you have to like anything? It's more the fact of, do you have a,
oh, wow.
Do you enjoy reading or handling or figuring out puzzles?
Not really.
Still difficulty 8?
Yep.
All right,
That difficulty is a constant. It will never change.
Right.
1.
Okay.
I crushed that.
Okay. Once again, you all feel it wash over, but it doesn't take. And Vincent gags, excuse me, and he will make his way to the bathroom, but he's just
going to the
freehold.
Yeah.
I'll hand him off a muffin as he does so. I understand.
Yep, he makes direct eye contact with you, Ember, like, yeah, you get it, and then he leaves.
I'll make sure that he's okay, and I go with him.
Look, I don't talk about her much. Everyone here can count on all their hands to ever see a book in my hand. Literally. You don't know who my mom was, and that's okay. Most people don't. She gave me one book when I was a kid before I started traveling. I wasn't really good at school, and I said, fuck it. Go travel. Go have some life experiences,
Ace, your friend curses a lot.
Oh, fuck, I do. Anyhow, I'm from Chicago.
Is there a problem with it?
I mean,
no,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
just the only one who usually curses this much is Ed.
It's
a lot of adult language.
Look, she's going to learn the fucking language anyhow, one way or another. This is a copy. It's a 1970-something copy of Aesop's Tales. She put little cute comments in the corners because they're kind of like puzzles. But they tell you a story and you got to understand what the meaning is. It's old ancient Greek shit. Admiral Priscilla likes this shit. But at the same time, this is what my mom gave me to remember her by. That's all I got. So please be careful with it. Seriously. It's like a it's one of a kind.
Okay.
But it's English, so you don't have to translate to the Greek. Yeah, you.
She now sets it on top of the book that Esmeralda handed her. So now she's got 2.
But I'm going to ask you questions on it because I had to memorize that shit. And the more that you understand and get the riddles and the puzzles out, the more you're going to understand why you shouldn't and shouldn't like shit. Give you a sense of understanding yourself, perceptions. Did I like this color? Do I not like this color? Do I like this food? Do I not? You get opinions. You get yourself a perspective and a perception. Shit like that.
Okay.
Cool. Glad we had this talk.
Why don't you go take a nap, Anne?
Yeah, I think I need to go home. I'm falling asleep. Sorry.
No, I was never a good motivational speaker. You're fine.
Oh, come on, kiddo.
She puts the books under her arm and takes Ace's hand. Well, thank you all for talking with me. It was nice to meet you all.
Sure, kid.
It was lovely to meet
Yeah.
you, Anne. Truly.
And she'll walk with Ace back outside to the vehicle. And Ace, she'll get one last question as she looks up at you. Why are you and your friends so weird? And just you, please roll banality trigger.
Oh my gosh.
What
See.
a treat this was for you to bring around.
I know the
We're-
one time.
We're the weird ones, kid. Fuck you.
He should say, why are you so boring?
One success.
It almost bowls you over for a second, but you recover from the comment. You don't feel diminished in any way, although it definitely sucked to hear her say it.
Because I want to be. It's fun that way.
Okay. And she sort of just shakes her head and then gets into the back seat. Sorry, Ace, you had something else.
So Ace is gonna drive her home on a scene order, but they do want to do something once she goes to bed.
Gotcha. Then just real quick, we will flash back to everyone. Are you all congregating in the freehold?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Vincent is laying prone on part of the bohemian style lounge couch.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that he's doing the thing when people are nauseous where you just look at a fixed point on the ceiling and he's just got his hand on his chest and he's just breathing very slowly and with purpose.
I got my hand on his forehead.
He still looks a little bit out of it.
I got my hand on his forehead. You're fine. You're fine. Just keep breathing. Focus on one spot.
I have seldom felt such.
I think she's been ravaged.
Not since I had to represent an autumn person have I. She's not that bad, but
The fuck are you kidding me?
He was
She's
close.
so depleted
Oh
that
my God.
what has happened to that child?
What happened to that kid is what you're talking about.
If she was rabbit, no, the glamour, if she absorbed it and it didn't.
because it's like putting a single drop of water into a dry well.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
One drop doesn't revitalize a whole
I
dead
didn't
garden.
put a lot of glamour into that book. I wanted to test.
This has been going on for months. Ace has been talking about this for months. Does that mean that somebody is doing it routinely?
The fuck do we know?
If something such as ravaging, if that's what this caused, was brutal enough, there is a chance that no, it wouldn't fade. Not every human recovers from that.
Well, think about it. It's in the ducky's household underneath the ducky's nose. She don't know shit about her own kid.
That girl needs help.
Or
No
she's
shit.
doing it to her child.
No, you don't think.
Oh, fuck yes. That bitch don't know what to do with a family. If you put it in her lap, tied it in a bow, and said Merry fucking Christmas.
I will admit I may also just be a bit spiky, given that
I'm going to have to roll against banality.
Very well. Something tells me I smell a bit of antithesis.
Just a wee bit. Because a child is defenseless.
I'm gonna put.
And that hits me.
For just a second, Esmeralda, a memory surfaces. You were in New York. You'd just gotten into the place you were staying. Hadn't even unpacked. Everything was so samey. The walls, there was no furnishings. The light bulbs were white and almost fluorescent bright. No life to the space. Thinking about this situation brings you right back to that moment. Please take a point of temporality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vincent must have been real hard.
It is somewhat mitigated because you are in a freehold.
Mm-hmm.
So for as much as it sucks, it is almost like getting punched immediately into spinning into a cold compress against it. Because the glamour of the freehold is doing its best to do what glamour does and infuse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it is my freehold. It's trying to protect me.
You're the one tied to the balefire, so yes.
Mm-hmm. Actually, tears will well up in her eyes at this conversation.
Yes, you feel a hand grab yours. And while his eyes are closed, Vincent reached out from the couch and is now holding your hand, despite him not being visibly aware.
And he actually gives Esmeralda a handkerchief.
Who do we know that can help with this? Can someone help with this? For Ace's sake.
Ace is going to have to get that child out of that house.
Figure out what's going on, at the very least.
If you're referring to help with banality, House Liam is the house to speak with.
It is.
There are not many Liam in town, but the few that are in town are rather social, so I don't feel that it will be hard to get a hold of them. Should you wish to speak with them properly. Don't expect them to have much sway in certain matters, though. They are, unfortunately, Liam, which is no fault of theirs.
Not something like that in a long time.
Storyteller, since getting my memories back, have I ever dealt with House Liam?
Yes. House Gwydion and House Liam have a wonderful little history, mainly in that for a while, House Gwydion really hated House Liam.
Okay.
But House Gwydion hated House Liam more as a decorum thing because everyone else hated House Liam for siding with humanity over their own kind. And in the past, they'd even been considered a house full of oath breakers. But that's not quite the case so much anymore. But Liam have their own issues, but there are no greater experts on banality and humanity and mortals in general.
But did I ever have any interactions with them in the city?
You can't place names. Names are sometimes not coming up, but you do know that you have interacted with the house. You have memories of sometimes socializing at gala type events, occasionally just speaking to them, passing in court, not always even about anything important. They're social enough, they're friendly, usually very vivacious and fun loving.
I
But
have some memories that have bubbled up since you've mentioned the name. I could probably talk to Daniel about it. See if he can help me find some.
It's a good idea. If that woman has allowed, or even caused, that abuse of her own child,
Question is, who's going to tell Ace?
I think she
They got to
knows.
fucking know.
I think they know.
I think they know.
Would she have brought it up to us?
She probably only has suspicions.
and with all this speculation, Ace, you are now back home in Anne's room. It's sparsely decorated. She actually asked if some of the decorations in her room could be taken out because she wasn't really all that into them anymore. So her room's a little bit bare. Still somewhat colorful. There's still toys, but she's playing with them less and less as time goes on. But she's already dressed and ready for her nap as she lays down in her bed and pulls the sheets up. Thanks for taking me out today.
Of course, kiddo. I hope you had fun.
It was pleasant.
Despite things being stupid.
Despite things being stupid.
I wish you were more optimistic.
She just shrugs.
Don't worry. I'll get you there. Go to bed.
She leans forward and wraps her arms lazily around your neck. And then she pulls away, lays down, rolls on her side, facing you. And it's almost like she wants to say something before she conks out.
Are you? Yes?
She's out of it. Totally napping now.
Ace is immediately going to go to Bella's room.
The door is shut.
Opens it. Doesn't care.
She is in there. She's currently sitting at her desk and she turns. Thank you for knocking. How can I help?
What do you know? What happened to Anne?
She stands up and walks over to you. We don't know.
What do you mean?
We don't know.
Then why were you crying?
My little sister does not believe in the one thing that we all are. And when you asked her if you could get her to believe, she said the only magic that would work is for all of us to get along. Ace, I have enough self-awareness to realize an impossibility when I see it.
Is it impossible? With who? I don't like you. You know that. You don't like me. I know that.
Yes.
But I both know we love her. And if that means getting along, I know I would be willing to do that.
I can happily get along with you, especially for Anne's sake. It's It's Ace. If you could give me a quick roll.
Sure.
Perception kenning.
Okay. Perception.
For those who don't remember, kenning is this game's awareness, except it's better because instead of just the hairs on the back of your neck, it's literally your I notice magic.
Yep.
I'm gonna do willpower.
Certainly.
And then what's the threshold?
We'll go for difficulty 7.
Okay, well then that's 2 with the willpower.
Okay. Something's compelling your sister to shut the fuck up.
Can I use between the lines?
Certainly. This one you will need a little bit more oomph with, though, I will say. Because this is going to be difficulty 8, and you must get at least 2 successes.
Difficulty 8 must need 2. Okay. Faye. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place one of those with that. No, not a success. Not a botch, but not a success.
There is, I can give you this flat out. There is something there. Something that she, for some reason, can't say. It's like watching a puka try to tell the truth. There's a lot of effort in her face.
Write it down.
And she just shakes her head.
Write it down.
She goes over to her desk and grabs a notepad and starts writing. And she gets to mom is, and then her hand stops. And she tries it several times. Mom is, mom is, mom is, mom is.
Okay.
And her handwriting's starting to get a little less.
Stop.
Ace, I'm so sorry to ask, but how many dots of empathy do you possess?
I have 2 dots of empathy.
Yeah, you'd notice. Your sister's on the verge of a panic attack. She's holding it back because she's she, and that's probably about the only thing holding it back right now.
Stop. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Between your gifts and my gifts, we can beat this. We can beat her.
She exhales, walks a little further, sort of thunks her head against your shoulder. And almost immediately you can feel your shoulder get stained with water.
Ace probably gives her the first hug that they've given her in years.
And she probably returns the first hug that she's given you in years. I'm scared, Ace.
No.
Of everything.
I know. We'll figure it out. God. Why did y'all have to side with her? You knew she was bad.
She just keeps crying. And it's really annoying, too. When she lifts up her face, there's no snot. The tears are perfectly streaming equidistant down her face. It's even when they're upset, she are perfect.
Is there anything visible that happens during a seining?
Visible to the namer, possibly, with the way the glamour would interact with them. But for those observing, probably not.
Okay.
Or if there was, it would be probably enhanced because the dreaming decided to be dramatic.
Okay, then maybe Ace will like pull their sister aside and be like, okay, I have an idea. Come with me. And they'll take Bella to Anne's room. And
Anne's still perfectly asleep.
Ace is going to try and do a seining on Anne to figure out what's going on there. Is she Canadian, or is she just true human? Like,
get the actual sense of what she is.
And I hoping for I can tell that if she's been ravaged for sure. But also not gonna lie, want that -5 difficulty to future magic to help enchant her later.
Certainly. And that can be accomplished next episode of Changeling Stained Glass.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maddox. I said I was your magnanimous storyteller. Not feeling very magnanimous, am I?
It was a beautiful story.
It's already starting off intense. I love it.
Not a ducky and rye now.
As the storyteller, I have the privilege of sitting around this table with this cast and telling goofy fairy stories. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this season premiere of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. Season 3, y'all. Rolling.
Different vibes.
Yeah. This sandbox is made out of quicksand.
Diatomaceous earth.
Okay, that's fucked up.
Only to bugs.
Not just to bugs, okay? That shit will dehydrate all to hell. All right. So thank you, everyone. And do join us on the Discord. That is where we hang out when we are not playing games on stream, and also where we cast our games. So you want to be part of our Discord community if you are not already. We do have a public chat there where you can talk about this game. We also do announcements of when we go live with streams and when our friends go live with streams there, so you can catch out tons of fun content. And also when we post up our YouTube videos, that gets announced on our server too. So yeah, join us there. And of course, hang on. I'm so wrapped in the session, I have forgotten my order. YouTube. So YouTube, do check us out on YouTube because we do have back episodes. Our previous seasons of this game is on our YouTube. It's actually on our front page. We have playlist groupings on our front page where you can go to Changeling. We also have 5+ years of content there. Tons of World of Darkness splats have been played. Also other games, literally indie games, some lesser known games that have been played in miniseries and one-shots and all sorts of things. So you'll want to check it out. There's tons of content there for you to enjoy. And do check out the London Esoteric Society YouTube as well, because that is where our amazing European GM, Dr. Tiss, posts her content. You can see her D&D 5e campaign, Ishvel, there. You can also check her Call of Cthulhu London Esoteric Society there. And also her 7th Sea game that is now streaming will be going there as well as soon as she uploads it. So
I must also once again pitch. I said it last time. I'll say it this time. Check out 7th Sea just because it is literally the brightest game currently on this channel.
Yes, it is.
It's so interesting. It's like, whoa, what's this? Like, it's not dark, but what is it?
It's cinematic.
It's like dim, but more.
Yep. So do check both of those channels out. Give them a subscribe. It's free on YouTube. And if you're watching videos there, make sure you like the videos and put comments on them, because the comments and the likes combined help boost those channels up in the search rankings on YouTube's algorithm so that more people looking for content like ours can find it. That's a free way to support us. Also, do give some love to our friends.
We have many.
And all of them are currently at this table. So, Junie Von Esch, what you got going on?
Hey, coming back. You promise. This weekend. Not only am I making garbage, trash cans and garbage fires, I'm making a little firefly for somebody else's channel who may or may not be somewhere next to me.
And Ravnos Archon, what you got going on?
Oh, hello, everybody. I do TTRPG stuff on my own channel. Right now, I'm going to do 2 little mini series to see if I can handle 2 shows a week at a time. But that'll be in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do a Scion First Edition as a precursor to a Scion game that will be taking over a Tuesday slot. And I also will be running Wander Home because it is the cutest, simply adorable game in the world. And I need something that's bright like 7th Sea is for you guys on my own channel.
Excellent. Mischievous Red, what you got going on?
Hi. Yeah, I stream on my own channel sometimes when life's not busy. Typically it's on Sundays, but if you join the McStabber's Discord, you'll get notified. So yeah.
Absolutely. And do check out Rerolls as well. He streams TTRPG content on his channel. And he is also a player in a few of our games here at this channel. So do give all of those a quick follow and make sure you tune into them when you can. If, as they've mentioned, if you are on our Discord server, you get notified when they go live. So there you go. Also, if you would like to support this amazing cast of players here at this table and our storyteller, you can do so by showing us your biddies. Thank you, Joni, for showing your biddies. Bits and donations are actually given to our cast at McStabber Studios. We distribute those, of course, after taxes, to those who wish to take them for compensation for the time and investment that they give into our content production. And of course, if you would like to support the channel itself, myself, Mama McStabber, or Shanky, as the ones who are kind of producing things and keeping content organized, you can do so by subscribing to this channel. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get 1 free subscription a month. You might consider giving that to us. And of course, you can also donate to our KoFi page. That goes directly to the studio and helps offset our expenses because, you know, it costs money to produce content. It really does. We use licensed materials for video and audio and all that stuff, and it costs money. Yeah. So if you would like to contribute, that's ways you can do so. But of course, as I mentioned before, we don't want anybody to put themselves out. I understand things are tight and it's only going to get worse because tariffs. Yeah. So literally, the free way you can support us is by going to our YouTube channels, subscribing, which is completely free, liking and commenting on videos. That is a way to boost us in a way that doesn't cost any money. It just costs a little bit of your time. And if you're watching the content there, just comment, like and comment. Seriously. It's an easy way to help us out. So, also, another way you can support the studio is by buying merch. We don't really hype it that much. You know, I don't even raise the prices on it. It's the standard Zazzle prices. But if you want to buy some studio merch, we do have a variety of sundry items available for your perusal at our Zazzle shop, where the link is in chat right now. Do make sure you are signed in because some of the items have cuss words on them, and I had to market them as adult items. So you need to be signed in and age verified so that you can see those, like our Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would Camp Counselor t-shirt, which is fucking awesome. Okay.
Red Cap approved merchandise at least.
It's adult. It's adult-ish. We are adult-ish here. C# Fritz. We need an adult often, but but yeah, so that's ways you can support the channel. And what's coming up over the next week, y'all, it's the beginning of the year. We are kicking off. Yep. We started with this past weekend, kicking off on Saturday, and it has started the month of everything is fucking streaming. So literally we have now on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Vampire the Masquerade V5, Kansas City, A Domain Divided, kicks off its new season with a new player at our table. She's a familiar face. Can't wait for you to see her character. we welcome Sunday Booth to our coterie. Can't wait for you to learn more about her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun because the war is heating up in Kansas City. Ravnos Archon there plays my character's awful brother. Mm-hmm. Maddox there plays the Shadow Lord that's going to get some information that's going to put him on a warpath. But yeah.
Oh, like I'm not already on a warpath. The Sabbat are fucking with everything I am dealing with.
Like the Guru. We eat everything.
I know. Junie there plays a glasswalker. Yeah. But yeah, so we're kicking off 8 p.m. Eastern Friday, and it's going to be crazy, y'all. It's going to be crazy. And then Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7th Sea. Yep. Ravnos Archon there is going to be sailing the high seas with his crew. Yep. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, Junie's back here as storyteller. Myself and Maddox are in this game. For Chicago, V5, Vampire the Masquerade, Hidden City, set in 2010. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Wednesday, we are back here again, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the second session of Season 3 of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. And lastly, I'm going to say, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, y'all. Seriously? Yesterday, I took a mental health day. My anxiety was so fucking bad, I could not deal with it. Period. Period. It was all I had in me not to go into full-blown panic attack. Yeah. So, I struggle with mental health issues. I do. I've got bad days sometimes. And if you're having bad days or you're in crisis, right now in chat, if I can type it right, there we go. There's a list of organizations that can offer you crisis support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call or text them. And if those offered information, those offered crisis lines don't suit your needs, or you are outside of the U.S. and you need help, go to findahelpline.com. That site lists help and crisis organizations available to you in over 140 countries. Please look up your resources, use them. Take care of yourself. We want you around a long time. If you are not well, get help. It's okay. You are not an island. There are people who want to help. And I'm McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. I'm going to tell you, please get vaccinated. Please. Please. Before you can't. Make sure you've got your meds. Take your meds. Drink your water. Get sunshine when you can. And please, if you are in California right now, please be careful of those fires that are happening in Southern California. Please be mindful of the evacuation orders. The only injuries and stuff going on is for people who did not fucking evacuate. Please, please. I know that the thought of losing everything is absolutely horrifying. But things can be replaced. Your lives and the impact your lives have on others cannot.
Can't lose everything if you're still around.
That's right. So please, be mindful of evacuation orders. Please, do it. And those dealing with winter weather, please do your best to stay warm, stay safe, get your emergency preparedness ready, make sure you've got water, because if you lose electricity, you'll have to use water to flush your toilets. Fill up a tub. Yeah, just take care of yourselves, y'all. And one last thing I'm going to say. Being that I work in healthcare, I am terrified of what the new administration is going to do to my field of work. I'm also terrified of what the new administration is going to try to do to those that are the most vulnerable in our communities. If you helped usher that new administration in, either by voting for it, voting third party as a protest. Well, you didn't save any Palestinians with that, did you? And abstaining from voting. Get the fuck off my channel. Get the fuck out of my Discord community. You are not only unwanted, you are not tolerated. Said with all sincerity. Y'all have a good night.